Hello, hello. The title says I'm hungry, but it's 1:27 a.m. Hello, little girl. Do you need to go outside? Okay. I once sent a tweet to Joe Biden or some sort of communication to Joe Biden to have, if you're going to have food open after a certain hour, there should be a healthy alternative. Now, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub have opened up, have made healthy food more accessible. You could also say they've made unhealthy food more accessible, but I find myself with, Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash, not ordering from Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, unless it's past 10 p.m. or something, and every other shop in town has closed down. So, when I first started using Grubhub, I was living out in Colorado, and I would pick up my food. And there was only like one or two occasions that I had food delivered, and that's because I threw out my back in March of 2019. I couldn't walk. I ordered Instacart. I ordered Big Daddy Pizza, and the order for Big Daddy Pizza was astronomical. Um, I ordered a pizza, some cheesy bread, and a soda, and I think it came close to $100 for that order. Big Daddy Pizza is located somewhere on Wadsworth, I believe. And has that Elios, that Chuck E. Cheese, that that type of pizza that I like, but is sort of like one that you might find in a DiGiorno. I've never had DiGiorno, and I'm not knocking Big Daddy Pizza. I like the pizza. I've ordered there more than once, I believe. I picked up a couple times. I had it delivered, and like I said, I like that style of pizza. Um, it's been a while since I've had Chuck E. Cheese, so I don't know if I should compare it to Chuck E. Cheese. I always remember Chuck E. Cheese being good. Um, I've grown up on Long Island in New York. I've had pizzerias, and the consensus has been that pizzeria pizza is better than Pizza Hut and better than Papa John's and better than Domino's. Um, those pizzas might be more consistent, and I like the old recipe Domino's. Domino's used to have deep dish pizza, and before they changed the sauce, you know, Domino's went on this. They got a lot of feedback from customers. We hate the sauce. The sauce tastes bad, so they changed the sauce, and that, to me, that made the pizza worse. Um, Domino's had the ultimate deep dish, and ultimate deep dish pepperoni was a decent pizza. Um, but being on Long Island, I guess, it's supposed to be that New York has good pizza and everywhere else has shitty pizza. And from my experience growing up, that was true. I went to football camp. Um, I think it was Utica or something. It was Joe Namath football camp. I also went to offense, defense, and maybe another one. But I think it was at Joe Namath football camp. That might have been in Connecticut or upstate New York. They had shitty pizza. Then I've been to Pennsylvania. I lived in Pennsylvania when I was going to school. I used to go to my uncle's home in the Poconos, and Pennsylvania pizza was shitty pizza. And I think I've had some pizza in Boston, and it wasn't the best. However, that said, I've had pizza in Colorado, and it was decent. I went to this place called Anthony's, and that was as close to like a New York style I could get. There was some other place that had like Colorado style pizza. It was interesting. I should remember it. It was close to my home. Decent pizza. Um, Let me search. Pizza, Colorado style pizza Arvada. Bojo's, Bejo's, this place. So this was by my house. in I guess they had one in Fort Collins. The one in Fort Collins, I guess, was closer to the college. There was like a little Main Street area. Um, Fort Collins is a huge town. It's like the size of Manhattan or something. It's just gigantic, and like growing up in Oakdale, you had East Islip and Great River and Sable around you and Bohemia, and like those towns stretched maybe like an exit on on Sunrise, and the equivalent for Fort Collins would be like 10 exits or something. It starts at I-25, and then if you go west for like, well, let me just bring up Fort Collins here. Take a look at it on the map. So this is 25 here, and so Mulberry Street, Vines. I don't like revisiting Fort Collins. It's not. It doesn't hold many fond memories in my heart. Um, it part of that is due to COVID, but here is the start of Fort Collins. So here's Timnath. Timnath, that's the town next to Fort Collins. This right here, this Walmart Supercenter, this is where Fort Collins begins. Then there's DC Oaks Brewhouse and Eatery, Austin's. So we're up to here. We're still in Fort Collins. Then this is college here. So this is around where Colorado State University is. So we have this stretch here, and we're still going. Like Fort Collins doesn't end until you get to this Horseshoe Mountain. Like here's Fort Collins listed up here. Fort Collins Museum of Discovery. So from where do we say it started? Where did Timnath go? I've been through Timnath. There's Boulder. I've even lost 25. Where's 25? There's 25. Here's Timnath. So this whole area, this whole quadrant, this area, 25, 287, Fort Collins, all the way up to this LaPorte, that's all Fort Collins. This is Long Island. East Islip. Let's go to 2 kilometers. So this is the key down here. 2 kilometers. East Islip covers 4.1 square miles of land. Fort Collins covers 57 to 58 square miles. Big area. So we were going over Colorado style pizza. And so Bijou's is around what I would call their Main Street area. It's the College Town area. It's on College Avenue. But the one I would frequent, I've been to the one in Fort Collins maybe once or twice. And I went to the one in Arvada, I don't know, maybe like 4 times, maybe 5 times. So there's another place called Anthony's that's along Wadsworth in Arvada. And so this was my only complaint about Anthony's Pizza. It tended to be on the cold side when I would order it. But then Big Daddy Pizza was on South Wadsworth, more towards Denver. If you go, Colorado's kind of like a grid. So I'll go down to Arvada. So here's Boulder. I used to hike around El Dorado Canyon, which is about 8 miles from Boulder. Zoom out just a bit. Here's El Dorado Canyon right here. Some beautiful views. Let's see if there's any that I recognize. Not really. I don't know who took these pictures, but I have a video of me hiking El Dorado Canyon. And, but anyway, so there's 3 or 4, there's a few paths at El Dorado Canyon. The ones when you enter from the El Dorado Canyon side, there's El Dorado Canyon Path, there's Rattlesnake Path, and there's Fowler Path. And if you continue along El Dorado, you get to Walker Path, and that continues for about 15 miles. Anyway, we're going down to Denver. Here's Union Station. That's where the train station will take you, and that's around Coors Field, and there's a Whole Foods in that area and a whiskey bar. And so here's Arvada. And so I lived around 69th Street in Arvada. Here's Ralston. That's right north of where I lived. So this is Grandview. So this is, I guess I'm a little confused with the, I lived in these apartments. So this is on 56th Avenue. I don't know where I got 69th from. Ralston would basically be 58th. And around this area is Casa Bonita. So this is Wadsworth, and then there's Sheridan. Wadsworth and Sheridan run north-south. Let's see if I can find Sheridan. Shouldn't be that hard, because like I said, it's in a grid. But this seems to be further. Then that's Federal. There's some strip clubs. I used to work Uber there, so I've dropped some people off along Federal. Here's Sheridan, Fortage Road. So this one must be this road right here. Must be Sheridan. And I'm going to say around 48th is where Casa Bonita is. So this is 44th. It's 46th. Maybe it's south of that. It was one of the first places I stopped in when I got to Colorado. But as you go down to 32nd Street, so let's just go down this grid. So we were in Arvada. We're going south down Wadsworth. Here's Casa Bonita. It's on the Wadsworth side. Um, so we're going down, and I believe around 32nd, that is considered Denver. So here's 26th, here's 32nd, this is 32nd right here, and if you go 32nd across, it's in North Denver. They have little signs that will let you know what town you're in. So I don't know if I can do a street view of let's get the corner here. Here's some sort of photography place. Can I just get like a street view? There's 38th, here's 32nd. So if I go down to the street view, it has things up here on the road. This will indicate that you're in Denver. So there's blue. So if I go north, if I go up to like it's still Denver. So maybe it starts at 38th. But actually Big Daddy Pizza is along this road, so we'll just we'll just look for Big Daddy Pizza. A lot of Mexican places, a lot of Walmarts. All right, there's got to be something with the with the signs. I can't imagine 42nd being considered Denver. I'm not feeling nostalgic for Denver right now. It was kind of in like, you know, a place like this where it was just kind of by itself. And it's on this side of the road. Now we're getting closer to home, and actually I feel a little nostalgic because this is, you know, this is like close to my place. But let's see if I can get to the street signs. The street signs no longer have that blue Denver thing. And it has a sign that says Arvada. So here you see that that sign. So I guess around 46th or something. 40. I mean, here's 44th. That is, I guess, Denver. And if you just head east, you'll be in Denver. So now we're looking for Big Daddy Pizza, and I guess I could just... I was getting a little nostalgic here, actually. Shelby and I had some, good moments, good memories. Now, one of the reasons why I moved out of the Arvada area, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but this is kind of like dreary. There's a lot of concrete. When I thought of Colorado, I thought of like evergreens and I don't know why spruce is coming to mind, but with the mountains, I envisioned a lot of green, and there's different shades to the Rockies, but like east, it's just flat, and it's like the plains. It's like the heartland of America. It's just flat, and so this area in particular, it's just kind of industrial looking. A lot of road work, a lot of Five Guys, Tokyo Joe's. Here's a Tokyo Joe's, right? Like the same. There's a South Park episode where they're looking around, like every town is basically the same, and that's kind of what it was like. And so I went north to Fort Collins thinking it would be a little greener, and that's kind of the case around College. If you go down the road, College, it's very green. But the place I was living in was like a lot of burnt grass. This might be too far. Let me just... Big Daddy Pizza. They have it listed as Lakewood, Colorado. It's on Wadsworth. And this is Big Daddy Pizza. That's what Big Daddy Pizza looks like. I don't know if I still have access to my old Grubhub account. If I could somehow bring it up and show how much I paid for that order. Huge box, huge pizza. 26-inch pizza. I don't know if I ordered like $45 build your own pizza. I don't know if it was that. I think it was just a cheese pizza. There's Colfax will bring you around, maybe Sports Authority Arena Stadium, whatever it's called now. Mile High Stadium. And it used to be the Pepsi Arena, now it's the Ball Arena. Here's Sheridan, there's a Panda Express. I don't know if there were a lot of Panda Expresses, to be honest. I know there were a lot of Tokyo Joes. Tokyo Joes. It's like Wadsworth, I'll just take Wadsworth up. There's a Buddhist temple. So this is a sushi place. This Kokoro and Anthony should be right around here. There's the bagel place. It's Einstein Bros Bagels. I've had bagels from there. There's a Ruby Tuesday. I think this is Anthony's right here. Next is T-Mobile. Maybe not. It's gotta be this one then. Kona Hawaiian Barbecue. So this is where Anthony's was. There's a Jersey Mike's, there's Floyd's Barbershop, there's the Joint Chiropractor, and now it's Kona Hawaiian Barbecue. Let's go back to Wadsworth. So I'll take you on the walk Shelby and I used to do, and then I'll get into, this is Old Wadsworth. So this is going to bring us to, like, there's a, I think it's a place called Bluefin. It's like a sushi place. Smoking Fins. So let me go down Grandview. And there's a video of Shelby and I walking. Maybe I'll see my car. Maybe Google Maps hasn't updated in like in 10 years. Actually, I did drive a GTI, but it's not this one. I might have parked here on occasion, but this is the parking lot where I would park. Alright, so let's do this. This is where we would start. So Shelby and I were in building 7. So that's this building right here. So we would start around here. One of these, we would go in there's an entrance on the other side. We would go in that way. So we would come out and we would walk. And eventually we would get to this area. This is the leasing agent's office. And then there's a staircase over here. And here's the gym, and we would go through the gate over here, and there would be like a little place, and this is where Shelby would pee. Now we would walk along the train station down here, and we would cross over to Grandview. So now we're on Grandview, and on our return, Shelby might poop over here. So Shelby and I would start walking down this way, and we would be above the overpass. Can I get back up there? We would not be on this side. Let's see if I can get... back to Grandview. Obnoxious Google Maps. Back to the leasing agent's office. We go over here, and Shelby and I would walk along the train station. And we cross over to Grandview. Grandview. And along here there would be a pet store that Shelby and I would go to, and I would get her food. In this Pause and Play, which I believe is now closed. So I would go in there and I would get Shelby's food. If we were going to get the food, we'd go to the store and then we would walk back. It was a 5-pound bag of food. So now we walk down Grandview, and we're walking, and we're going to keep walking until we hit Old Wadsworth, which is this road. Then we go north. On the left is the sock place. The sock place used to be on the right, and there used to be a fry place that got replaced by a beet place. These Urban Beets. And this is a farmer's market. And I would go down this way, where there's the CenturyLink building, and there's also a library around here somewhere. And I would take this until I got to these apartments here, and We could go down Ralston. But this doesn't look like the way we went. Basically, we kind of double back. So once we got to these apartments, we go this way. Which brings us back down to Grandview. So we went down to Old Wadsworth and we came up and we made a right. And then we come back down this road, which brings us back to Grandview. Then we walk back to this spot where we can cross the train tracks. And this is where I met Dennis and John. There was a graphic design t-shirt shop around here. It looks like it's closed. And then Shelby and I would walk back to this area. I always wanted to, they have hot tubs, and I always wanted to go in the hot tubs in the very cold months. Somehow we will get back to building number 7 here. I don't know why I can't get to the spot I want to. I want to be on this side. To kind of show where they offered me a spot in this building 4, but I opted for building 7. Did that even have a New York plate? It's an R. Anyway, now it's 2:08, and I was gonna go to Uber Eats. Not much has changed in what's open. So, at this time of the day, there's Texas Chicken, there's Adobo Mexican Grill, there's McDonald's, there's Hala Munchies, there's Papa John's, there's Quick Check, there's this Guac Island Mexican Grill, Atlantis Fresh Mart, Cumberland Farms, Right Coast, Tequila, Wings Co., Fifth Street Restaurant, Don Taco Mexican Grill. So a lot of Hala places and a lot of Mexican places, and then the usual suspects of McDonald's and whatnot. I'm in the mood for something that I can just kind of nosh and Rudy's is decent. They always have buy one get one on burgers, and I always get a burger for Shelby. I'll think about it. I think my address in Arvada was 6905 West 56th Avenue, apartment 7206. I think that's where my confusion with Ralston and 69th Street was. Like if I go to Solano Old Town, so it's 6875 West 56th Avenue. See some photos of the property. I love the layout of their apartment. There's the pool. I just kind of wish I had someone with me. Like, I enjoyed being by myself and with Shelby, and I think that's what brought us closer, but if I, moved out there when I was a little younger and, found the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, possibly could still be there today. This is the gym. You might have seen a video of me working out at the gym. I'm having a hard time remembering like this hallway arrangement. Like the room is stands out and the rest of the property walking around. But like going up, what I was going to do before, I have a hard drive where in my apartment in Arvada, I would I would live stream and I would narrate, I would discuss research ethics while waiting in queue for Overwatch. And I was going to search for that video as like Belmont report stuff and informed consent, which is huge for me. Informed consent is paramount. So let's go back to this ordering food. I don't like how Uber Eats doesn't gray out restaurants that are currently closed. So something like Target. Target's not open right now. So it'd be nice if there was like a Jersey Mike's or a Jimmy John's open at this time. You know, get a sandwich. That's what the Colorado style pizza looks like. It's like a sweet crust. You can see them putting some honey on it. It's okay. One of my favorite spots. Let's see if I can find it on the map here. So we're going back to the map. I'm going to open in maps. And we're going to go to Denver. And I'm going to look for 17th Street and see if I can navigate to Marziak Fine Food Restaurant. Here's 17th. There's Broadway. So let me see if I can get to a street view. So here, I guess maybe it's this thing that says Denver. So what I'm looking for, there was something that triggered arachnophobia. What was that? This thing? I'm looking for 17th and Broadway. So that way I can kind of I saw Broadway. Broadway's over here. So maybe I'm coming in from 70. I'll just cheat. Where is it? It's on 17th. Okay. So where's Broadway? So if I'm coming down from Broadway, I guess it's opposite Union. I was trying to think, like, if I was driving around Denver, would I be able to find some of my favorite places from memory? And, you know, it kind of stands in my head the fork between Broadway and 17th. There's a couple locations for Marziak. I used to come to this one. I was hoping to get some pictures of the inside. Get some sandwiches back here. Some sushi grade tuna. I used to get some pasta from there. A little primavera sauce. I ordered some food and it's already on its way. That's a little discouraging, to be honest. Because I don't think I ordered this like long ago enough for them to prepare the food. So I got a feeling like this is leftover food. This is like the pasta I used to get. There used to be like a spinach. That's the skyline of Denver. Is this an alfresco or something? I want to see if they have the if somebody took a picture of the sausage rack. So in this, so to the left here, there's a refrigerated section that has like hot dogs and sausages and bratwurst. There it is. And there was something I used to get at Costco and sometimes Marziak, where it's like a jalapeno cheddar stuffed bratwurst.